to figure out how to maximize LinkedIn and hopefully bring some help to you all, because honestly, LinkedIn right now is really great for what they'll call organic traffic. There's no weird algorithms at the moment that you're only seeing certain things. Granted, it depends on what time you jump on or how long. What's in your feed is usually just based on who you're connected to and what they're doing, like organically. It's not filtered. I think Instagram and Facebook and all those things have been certainly more filtered. I don't love that there's people that I really want to see their stuff and they never end up seeing it. So we might go down a few rabbit holes of things. Feel free to yank me out of them if it's gone too far. But essentially, I'm going to figure out that, hi, I'm Lori. If you don't know me, I am the president-elect for our Colorado chapter. And I also own a business, Balance Biomechanics, where I help workers not to be knuckleheads and hurt their bodies at work. So that's what I do. I've had my own business forever, nearly. I was a personal trainer out of college, and then I did massage therapy. But I think personal training was the only time I worked for someone else. It was still, though, my own hustle and my own thing. I was raised by two entrepreneurs, so it was kind of in my blood to do my own thing. Granted, this is not only if you have your own business. I've got some information in here. You know, if you're part of another umbrella of consultants, which that happens, it's really common. Please know that this should all be effective for everybody. And I'm no guru, but I'm going to share what works for me and what I've heard from other people. And honestly, because of these things I'm doing, I can directly relate it to new business, new clients. So successful. And some company out of the UK, Airsweb, I don't really even know what, they're kind of a software thing. They put me on their most influential safety people list, which I didn't even know was a thing. Whatever. So I don't know. Apparently I'm, showing up and popping up enough. I know a lot of folks in the chapter and people I run into, and they're like, oh, I see your stuff on LinkedIn all the time. So that's where some of this is coming from. Just so you know, I'm going to say that I can always learn new tricks, and I don't have the answer for everything, except for trying to figure out how to advance my slide. Okay, so initially, I just want to cover building your profile. So once you get on LinkedIn, it's important to build your profile. And I'll just eventually show you mine. This is just a screenshot of mine initially. One of the pet peeves I have is people without a photo. I mean, even like if it's those little Bitmojis like I just used on the other one, or a logo of something, a photo and image rather than that just little gray and white headshot of whatever that is better than nothing, because that says you're a real person. You're actually here to do some effort. You're not here to hide. So please put a photo in. If you wonder about how to add the background photo out at the top, if someone wants to get really technical, like how do I do that? What kind of image cropping? I'm happy to do that. But I'm big on teaching just kind of concepts rather than really specific techniques. So if you have the question, please answer it. That should make me go, I should put my chat window up, so I know if y'all have a question. Okay, so please add a photo. That's like my biggest thing. If you don't love it, or if you need a headshot or something, phones these days are amazing. If you have a newer iPhone, they have something called portrait mode, where it blurs out the background behind you. And it's so easy to take a picture. I say stand in front of something natural, like brick or greenery or something like that, in the shade in the daytime. Okay, and that turns out to be a really awesome picture, and have somebody make you laugh. Something like that. All right. But my profile photo is actually a screenshot from a video that I did. So any way you got it, please put in a photo. Any questions about that? As far as the content, cover photo, Jen, I just like to make it appropriate, like to what I'm doing. I have such a small niche that I need something that's exactly what I'm doing. But even if it's something in Colorado, so people know you're from Colorado, or even a pattern, honestly, the background, the behind cover isn't going to be a huge deal. It's just a nice touch. It makes you stand out, especially if you're looking for new work. Try to have something a little more pertinent to you, maybe a little more personal. Something like that is where I'd go with that. You can change around. There's people that'll just state their specific title, like I'm a safety consultant, and have all their letters. I'm not one that loves a whole bunch of letters. If you have like just your CSP or something, my rule is if it gets 3 or over, I wouldn't include them. But that's me. That's totally my preference. You'll, look at other people's profile to see what catches your eye and what you like. I emulate things that I like a lot, and then go from there. That's a great way to do it. But again, because I'm in a tight niche, I have to, I just went more original. When you work for yourself, again, something a little more catching that makes people remember you. So everyone's like, oh, that ninja lady. And that helps. Dear Lord, thank you to the Apple gods for finally making a ninja emoji. It finally happened. I can't tell you how thrilled I am that they finally made a ninja emoji. See, there's people that use a bunch of them. Again, don't overdo it. In my opinion, I'm just more simple, a little more traditional on that stuff. 1 is great. 5, too much. One thing I was going to do, let me try to pull up, because there's a newer feature on your profile that's helped me get some stuff. So hold on, let me exit out of there. I'm going to have to share a different screen. Let me view profile. Your screen share. I'm going to stop for a second. Look at that. I'm going to go to my LinkedIn. Is that it? No, that's Safari. I need Chrome. Does anyone else have like multiple browsers? There it is, with billions of windows open. It's my to-do list is on my windows. Okay, hopefully you all can see that. Can someone give me a little thumbs up or type in yes, or tell me yes that you can see my profile and all the tabs that I have open?
Yep.
Super. Okay, so your about is pretty easy. I don't have much opinion on whether or not you're in first person or third person. Again, I would just go with what you're comfortable with, what's really authentically you. I wouldn't go full on resume in your about. I'd make it less mechanical, a little more playful in the about section. But under the about section, and actually, let me just show you here in add profile section. Now you can have like all these different things to add, right? So this is the featured section, which is pretty new, where you can pin certain posts that you made, articles that you have in there, anything like that. So this is where I found, so I have a lead page for all my leads, and I pinned it in there. And then what's cool is you can drag these around, right? So you can move them based on what it is. I have posts that have gotten more traction than others that I'll pin up here. I don't know exactly how many that it holds, but I thought that was a great thing. That's been super helpful because I have directly noticed more people adding to my list because I pinned this here. So this first one is my my lead page. Okay. So that one, I just want to make sure y'all use it up as you can. If you do have I can go into marketing and stuff, but have an email list, please, please, please. If you don't have an email list and you are not collecting emails, do it. you're behind the times. You've got MailChimp is free up to 1,000 people. So go, do, be, please. That's my dashboard. Activity, experience. Yeah. So then experience is where you get to put all your resume stuff in there, how much you want to add or not add, education license. All this stuff is just exactly like your resume. I love that you can click through in a bunch of things and then go from there, right? Skills. I do little weird things that on my languages, I speak blonde and I speak Spanish. It lets me know if someone actually got down to the bottom of my profile and actually saw something, is where I'll put things in there. Okay. Profile. Any questions with how you want to build your profile? It's usually the easiest part because it's throwing up your resume on your thing. So where was I going next? You won't see my slides, but it's mostly my little bullet point list. Can I switch? Does anyone know if I can like directly switch to screen share without stopping and starting again? New share. New share. So what do you want to do? Just so you know. Nope, I don't want my desktop really. I want my, y'all don't need to see my desktop, but I guess you're gonna, no. Take a deep breath. I want Keynote. Y'all. Okay, so I mean, posting content is what I'm going to keep talking and doing because there it is. I have a boring presentation thing, so I didn't quite see it. Here's your game plan. Be consistent. Document, don't create. Educate, entertain, or engage. And this thing I call give, ask, which I totally learned that from lots of different sources. Essentially be consistent. And honestly, so for me, I try to post once a day. That usually gives me, that seems like a lot, right? But there's people that are like, well, you should post, like Gary Vaynerchuk is someone that I listen to a lot. I really like him. He's not for everybody. He swears a lot. But Gary Vaynerchuk's really awesome. And he's one that will say that you should post like 20 times a day. I don't even think that's possible because that would drive me crazy. I aim for once a day on all my platforms. And I guess I didn't put it in here. I'll have to write down, let's see, I'm going to write it in the chat room, that there's an app that I use called IFTTT. Sounds weird, right? If this, then that. Everyone, here we go. IFTTT. I use the free version and there's little different things. So if I post on Instagram, it automatically posts like an image to Twitter, to so my Instagram goes to Facebook and to Twitter. There's different things you can do. If I post something on YouTube, it goes somewhere. LinkedIn isn't in this app too much, but I just want to let you know about it because we're all about maximizing your time. So my two places that I end up posting are Instagram and LinkedIn, and that usually feeds all my stuff. I will tweak my content just a little bit from Instagram to LinkedIn, but on a rare occasion, just, to make it more professional on LinkedIn, I'll do that. But if you've seen my content on LinkedIn, I post my TikTok videos sometimes on LinkedIn. And honestly, I've gotten direct messages after I post a TikTok video to ask if I can come speak at some event. So there's a direct correlation to being consistent and putting your stuff out there. So aim for once a day and then you might get once a week. Who knows? But that's as far as frequency goes. And then this is one of the things that Gary Vee says all the time is document, don't create. If you're trying to come up with what am I going to post about all the time, you're going to drive yourself insane. So there's usually something that you're doing every day that would relate back to work or to relate back to something that helps somebody. One of the things that I use all the time is think about any question that someone has asked you that day or emailed you about, right? So for me, it's just the littlest thing, like, what do I do about neck pain? And I'll do that. Or what is fascia? And try to stay simple, because I'll get lost in all my details and trying to go down rabbit holes. They just want to know, what to eat tomorrow or something. It's not, you want to stay simple with your stuff. And then it's just what you're doing. Like, if you're having a crazy day, like I'm having a crazy day and I am under a deadline, as I heard somebody say, right? I'm under a deadline, but I'm taking a break for this. And that's something to post and be like, hey, even though I'm under a deadline and I'm super busy, I'm taking a break because I want to work on providing you great content on LinkedIn. That's how I would spin it. Or, I'm doing professional development. And so that's something that you can spin in your regular stuff. What you're eating, when you're showering, how many times you're going to the bathroom are not appropriate. That's consistent, but it's not appropriate. We don't need to do that. That's when the next one comes in. You want to educate, entertain, and engage people. So educate them. Like, I have a friend who has an amazing Instagram class on how to do great things on Instagram. And just one of the things she has is Teach It Tuesday. So in your own head, you remember on Tuesdays, you're going to teach something, and that's what you post, and go from there. So think about the little things that you teach anyway, put it on LinkedIn. And one thing that initially, when I started getting into all these marketing programs and things like that, my husband and I were both like, well, we're giving away the secret sauce if we're just telling you what I'm going to tell you in a training, right? But it doesn't. I promise you it doesn't. It's a way for people to kind of test drive you, your personality, your services, what you're going to provide, rather than blanketing it. And I tell people, we all, you all as safety consultants probably teach similar things all the time, but you are unique individual, and people want to work with you because they like the way you deliver it. And that's what helped me figure out that everyone can teach biomechanics. There's lots of people that teach what I teach. It's the way I teach it that's different, and no one can steal that part. But, steal my content, go try to do the same thing. And I just have to be okay with that, because I know I do it better. So don't be afraid of like divulging your super secrets, because usually they're not that super secret. It's something people can usually look up and learn anyway. But you're still educating. And when you're educating people, it's in a way for them to understand you and your personality and how you teach. Because we all know that we've had a really crappy teacher trainer before, and it's no fun. So Pat, thanks for being on video, Pat. It's nice to know. Don't say that you're one of them. You are not one of them. No, you're not. So you want to, it's also helpful to grow into your own. Now, look, you don't have to do video all the time. I do video all the time because I suck at writing. I'm not good at pulling it out of my brain. I can just throw it up and say it way faster than I could write a blog post. So do whatever works for you. Entertain people. That's when you can repost those, safety fail videos, something like that. As long as you're teaching, I like to add the people who add teaching moments to those. That makes it more engaging rather than just a fail video. It says more about you as a person and how you're interested in teaching people. So all these little things that'll point someone back to, hey, I want to work with that person. That's who I want to work with. And that's where you get to be promotional without being salesy, is that you just show your personality. What you pick and choose to post also shows your personality. One of the things I'm trying to remember. I think there's a book called Ask. It was an audio book. I'd have to go and look it back up, but it's where I got this, that you give, 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 ask. It's the ratio of providing education, providing this content, all good stuff, at least 3 times. And then you say, hey, can I have your email? Or sign up for this list. Or can you give me your opinion, is an ask, right? A lot of people think that, well, I'm offering this great discount. That's still an ask, because you're still asking them to spend money. So you want to provide a lot before you ask stuff like that. And that's been really helpful to me as well, because then it comes up with there's some psychological trigger thing like reciprocation. People will be like, well, I'm getting so much value from you that I just feel I need to give you something back. And if it's their email, that's a pretty good thing. If it's a client and you get paid out of it, that's an even better thing. I just checked chat box. Jen, yes, I share other people's posts, especially if I like them, especially not even if it has any relevance to my following of people. I have a friend who does leadership training and leadership coaching. And, if someone has a great pearl that made you go, I like that. Great to share. One, it's a win-win for whoever posted it, because then you create this little reciprocal relationship. And I rarely do like a cold share of just doing it on job posts or something like that. I'll sometimes just share it without a comment, but I like to make comments on it. And that's where I think on one of my slides, I just have something about doing that, because anyway, but I'll direct the point here. Yes, just kind of spin it. Oh, it's when I get into, if you're still under a company and you're going to post your company stuff, always add your own opinion to it, add your own philosophy to it, because that's still showing you and your brand. And we'll get into that a lot. So always you can always share something, because then it's an additional post, and then you pop up in someone's feed again. and then. All right, so just kind of moving on with that one, the game plan here of if you are your own consultant in your own business, or if you are a consultant under another company, like I know some of you are, either way, I think it's important. And I know there's a lot of people who you don't always stay in the same job. You could move jobs. You and your brand, like, it sometimes sounds commercial, but you are your own person. And when you start posting and being consistent on LinkedIn, even if it's about your own company things, and that gets you in the eyes of so many other people. And I guess the best world scenario is someone being like, hey, I really like your philosophy. We have this new job opening that pays twice as much as usual. Why don't you come join us? I mean, wouldn't that be a great situation? So even though you're under a different umbrella, putting out, and that's where, like, stay on the company mission. I wouldn't go super sideways. Otherwise someone might not love that. But figure out the ways that you're similar on their post or your own posts. It's like, well, this is what I love most about my job and how I'm doing it. That showcases you as well as your company. So that's a win for both people. And just your perspective on what your day-to-days are, your perspective on what your company is. I'd say I wouldn't be 100% positive, but be complimentary. Does that make sense? Like, if you don't agree with something, it's fishy, it's muddy waters, but I still think it's possible, because where I go on this other way is be authentic. You need to be yourself. And that's what, so people know what they're going to get. I like to have people share opinions, but not arrogance. I won't claim to know everything about biomechanics and all that stuff. I love to learn more new things and all that stuff. So when this is where also engage the negative comes in. When I said eventually you're going to get someone that posts negative on your stuff. And I have a fun little example of, there was a gentleman that started posting on my, I think I showed a video of some exercise band around the knees and side walking and saying it's great for your hip strength. He's like, there's no way that you're going to get any sort of electrician or anybody to do that move. And you're going to, you know, they're going to get hurt or they're going to fall down. And he was really grumpy. And I was like, And instead of ignoring it, I just kind of engaged. I said, actually, I've had people that do this and they've felt better because of it. And little ways, he's slowly become like now my super fan. It's hysterical. So engage people. I also had a YouTube video that I posted a long time ago. My subject in the video was chewing gum. Someone commented that it was just atrocious that they're chewing gum. I have the most views ever on that video. There's like hundreds of thousands of videos because people got negative about chewing gum. So leave them. You want to delete them, but leave them and engage them. Don't follow down trolls. There's a point where you need to stop, but this creates more exposure on your profile because someone else is commenting and someone else is reading it, and then that gets you more exposure. So that maximizes your reach. And then to have certain people see how you handle that also says more about you. Okay. So I don't delete negatives. I think they're super entertaining. I wish I have some direct messages that were super interesting. I'd love to put out, but that's mean and that's not my style. Networking. Okay, so does anyone have like questions right now on what to post? So consistently, you're going to try every day to find something that's, you know, something you're educating. Maybe you're entertaining with a funny little video that teaches something. All right. And getting engagement. You can ask a question out there. But remember, when you're asking a question, that's an ask. You're asking for effort. Seems weird, right? But sometimes people will play along and sometimes they're like, I don't want to do that. Okay, when it comes to connecting and networking, I think there's connection etiquette. I don't know about you all, but you know, growing your network and how many people are there. I'm not encouraging you to be just spammy connection person that just doesn't differentiate who you connect with. But this is where I'm a little different. And I don't know if we can see my screen. There we go. That might be better. Don't ask or sell in a connection message. That's, for me, it's my biggest pet peeve. Someone all of a sudden, either there's no message initially and I connect with them, and then the next day I'm like, hey, they're like, hey, you want to buy my stuff? I'm like, no, I want to see what you do first and then see if I want to buy your stuff. So, and tell me if you guys think differently. Lately, I am more apt to connect with people that don't have any messages than someone who has kind of like, hey, I saw your profile, let's connect. Like a general or a salesy thing. I don't know. I'd rather just connect, see what they're up to. And then that kind of screens out immediately the ones that will initially sell me. And I'm like, bye. Just connect. Or I'll try to teach them a little thing or two, but not usually. If you are one that does that message, I think it's fine if you're doing it right. Here's an example that someone did because they've been watching what the person's doing. So their message is relevant and just complimenting, right, what you do. I can't tell you how many times I've had someone message me. They're like, oh, so you're a gym owner and we should connect because of this. I'm like, you didn't even read my profile. You have no idea what I'm doing. When you can totally tell that you haven't read their stuff at all, don't do it. Don't say anything. Try to be specific. And maybe bring up something like my ASU people. I went to ASU, so I'm always like, woo, ASU, if I connect with someone like that. And don't be creepy. Don't be creepy, desperate, or arrogant is one of the things. So, hi, can I give you an example? This person, I'm sorry, I left his name on there. That was really kind of rude, but it was weird. Don't be creepy. To message all of a sudden we connect and you tell me you love me is not really going over very well. Okay. Don't do that. That would be what not to do. And also, I had another what not to do that I did do the most part, but someone asking to see if some of my clients needed what they have that I'm not providing for them. And I was like, well, let me just ask to dig into your network and take some business from you. That one I felt was weird, right? So hopefully that helps you connect with people, but definitely follow. I like to go through like who's liked your posts. You can go through and ask them to connect because again, it's exposure. You know that they're already somewhat similar. They like what you are putting out. So those are people that I want to connect with. I don't want to connect with random folks that aren't even going to be in my wheelhouse. And then making conversations. So there's one post element to this, but also if you can take set a timer or something once a week, twice a week for 30 minutes, go in and just see your feed. Maybe something's interesting. Put a comment in. Especially if you're someone who's looking for more work or looking for a different job or eventually know that you want to go somewhere. And maybe there's a dream job that you're eyeballing, go to that company, go to the people that are around it and just start engaging in the comments and making your own opinions, not just liking or great job, not to obviously brown nosing, I guess, but share your stuff. Share your ideas with people and make conversation. I really like to find, this is the end of my group list. I have like 54 groups or something that I'm a part of, which I can say that I don't see all the stuff. But again, especially if you're wanting to really build your network and work with specific people, change your industry, change your specialty, find the groups that line up with that, and then start engaging in those groups, start connecting with people in those groups. And then that's what's really going to help you. I circled this because it's hard to find for some reason. If you know the name of a group, you can put it in the search bar of LinkedIn, but this is, where did I find this? New share, watch how fast I can do this or not. This one, go to my Chrome. Hopefully that's back. This should be back on my profile, but on the main page, I have my recent groups that I'm in on the left sidebar, but like work maybe. It just took me a while to find the groups area, right? So here's groups. I think it'll list my groups, but again, it's really hard to search. Yeah, you got to go all the way down to the bottom to get your searching mode on this, and then find the groups that you want to get into, the people that you want to talk to, the people that are probably good prospects for you. That's where you want to go and then start engaging. And then someone can be like, oh, well, Jennifer said that really cool, insightful thing. I want to find out more about her. And people will follow down the rabbit hole that way. So that's a really good way to get noticed from there. I don't think I had too much more on my little presentation thing. I didn't. So hopefully this does find some of you some new things to kind of jump into. Again, overall, I'm going to say that consistency is key. Oh, you know what I did want to bring up? Let's see. I don't know where it is. Oh, and if I go to the home LinkedIn, for a little while, you could get more exposure. When you say start a post, you can do a photo, video, event, or write an article. article writing was good for a while, but I find now it doesn't give you any traction. Very few views on it. So unless you reshare it in the, I don't know what happened to my window, unless you reshare it in the feed, it doesn't get much traction. However, if you do keep them, people will tend to read them on your thing. So if you write a blog, occasionally stick it in your articles section, but I guess that would be the one thing that I've learned is not worth your time. Don't worry about writing articles there. I would stick them in your feed and then maybe pin them to the top, like that featured section is, to pin them to the top. That was the most helpful for me. So consistency, educate, don't be salesy. Super annoying when people are salesy. I guess whatever annoys you, don't do that. That's the easy part. What do you just scroll right by? What do you stop on? Use those as examples to go through it all. Share other people's awesome things, like and share. So like for me, it's super beneficial when, or the chapter stuff, when you like it, when you share it, when you comment on it, all of that is beneficial for whoever's posting it. All right. Especially if you've really had kind of an aha moment of it, remember to share it or like it or something. Because that's, and then if someone does share my stuff, LinkedIn will tell you so-and-so reshared. And then I go to that share and I comment below and I say, thank you. Because I think that's nice to do, that you say, thank you for helping me with my business. Again, reciprocal things. How are we doing, y'all? Give me a little thumbs up or something. Thank you. And let me know if this hopefully is useful to you and you have a list going. Okay. The other thing that I do on my phone is that I will, sorry, I can't switch
Hey, Lori,
and talk at the same time. Yes.
I'm curious, when you were talking about seeing if somebody reposted yours, where do you go in LinkedIn to find that?
Ooh, I will do that before I even switch over here. Because I was just about to switch out of this window. So if you can, yeah, you should be able to see mine right now. Let's see, I'll go to notifications. And then it's usually in these notifications. So reacted, commented, I think I had one. It'll see, so Brad Watson reshared my post. And then you can click on that. And then it goes to where he shared it from here. And then see, I haven't commented on it yet. So I can be like, thanks for sharing. And then I'll often tag them again. If you do the little @ symbol, hold on, I can't see, my toolbar's in the way. If you do the little @ symbol, is how you tag people. So if you didn't know that, it usually pulls up who posted it and then post. Does that help?
Yes, it did. That was perfect. I didn't know about the @
Yeah. Ooh, the @ are great, especially if you're making the post and you know, I don't like spam tags. People that are just going to tag influential people so somebody sees it. Those are getting annoying. But if it's actually relevant, like a conversation that you just had, like, you know, to Linda, I can @ you in a new post. And then they do say that the more people you tag, the better. So if I think I can find you. Right, there you are. So that's how you can bring people up and then it tags you.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. Discard. Where did I go? Yeah, there's not much back in my presentation to show you. I got through it all. So I'm always happy to answer questions. I mean, this is what I'm doing. This is why I was the social media chair for the chapter, because I was on it anyway. So I'm going to make multiple. I just do it again is what I do. But where are you people? There you are.
So Lori, say you're a gentleman of a certain age who really doesn't play much with social media. You see, I mean, obviously I trust you. You've done so much of it, and you have that little glass of wine with you today, which is nice.
No, milk cookies, milk cookies.
The biggest advantage, why should some grumpy old guy like me get on to doing social media?
Well, it depends on kind of your long-term goals. I mean, if you're totally happy where you're at and you never want to work another place, or maybe you want to retire, but maybe you want to find out new and luxurious yachts that you want to try out or test.
I want to win the lotto, and that hasn't worked out yet.
Okay. Because no, I mean, don't force it if you don't feel that it's going to benefit you at all. For the most part, it's going to help your network expand if you are looking for more clients, more work, or shifting business or specialty. Or you're just looking for entertainment, then you just watch. But as far as putting out the content, yeah, this is not mandatory, but if you foresee a need for a career path switch or difference, or maybe, or a raise, I would say. That's if you're looking for some more money and someone says you're really engaged. I know some companies out there that are like, hey, how are you giving back to the community? How are you doing those sorts of things? And this is a way to document that. So that always looks good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Man of a certain age. Come on. Super. Any other questions, folks? Because they're fun and specifics. I'd recommend a consistent time of day. I am a first thing in the morning. I'm still in bed on my computer posting my social media posts. I just want to get it done and over with, and then I can get on to the rest of my day. But some people will do it end of day. I guess if you were thinking it, what time of day is best to post? I don't think they're on LinkedIn. I haven't really noticed a better time to post or not. Sometimes email timing is, we'll do differently, but especially when you're consistent, I don't think it matters what time of day it is. Although not time of day, but day of the week, I've noticed that there's certain posts on Sunday morning that do awesome. Monday morning, not so much. Everyone's too busy on Monday morning to do stuff. So I would say not on Monday morning. Sunday morning is a great time to post. I wish that LinkedIn had a scheduled poster, a scheduling thing to where you can do it ahead of time and then schedule it on the calendar. They don't have that yet. I'm sure it's coming, but so yeah, Sunday morning, I have my coffee and my bacon and my donuts and my social media. That's how I roll. If you ever need to find me, that's where I'm at. All right. This is recorded. If you have any questions. Yeah.
Hey, Lori, it's Jennifer.
Hi, Jen.
So I don't know how to post. I know it should be as simple as Facebook, but it's not. So let's say I wanted to post an article that I was reading. Do I copy and paste and put it into when I create a post? And then what do the hashtag things mean? So I'm a woman of, well.
Good questions. No, good questions. So let's see. I don't know what I'm going to search for here. Let me just go to our ASSP stuff. So, hey, here's this event that we're going to go to. You highlight the whole URL and copy it, and then go over to your post, and then you can paste it. It will auto feed if there's an image or not to that. So usually if it's an article that you just read, it'll have that same image to it. And then I go back up, give it a couple lines, above and then start typing. Here's a great event. And then you can post it from there. My most used hashtags are at the bottom, or you can add a hashtag and it'll find it. This is essentially if someone's searching by hashtags. I rarely search by hashtags. I stick them on there, I guess, because I'm always like, okay, if someone's going to search early intervention, they want to know what it is, they'll probably come up with some of my posts and then figure it out. But then you click post from there on hashtags. You can also, let's see, let me try to, you can tag people in photos. So if I wanted a photo, and I'll do this one that I just made, right? Move my chat. Okay, and open that. So here, right when you do it, you click anywhere to tag, and I can, again, I can just type. There's no @ symbol needed right now. So I could tag you in this one if you wanted someone to see it on the post. Does that help you at all?
Can you explain what tagging means? I'm not a Facebooker.
Tagging, well, so the @ sign, when you tag someone's name, they will get a notification that you mentioned them.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just more exposure. And then the hashtag, or the number sign, as us people of a certain age like to say, the hashtag, so down here on the left, apparently, I didn't even realize I did this. I follow Stretch and Flex, Employee Safety, Ergonomics. Oh, look at me. I follow a lot of hashtags. This might be how it's coming up more in my feed. Also, I just realized that because I follow these hashtags, those posts are going to come up in my feed. So I always want to see what certain people are doing. Does that make sense? So it's kind of cataloging different topics. So if you wanted to find it again, or if someone else wanted to find it, you have a good article on construction, I would probably hashtag construction safety or something like that, just so it's findable.
Sorry, I kind of interrupted Jennifer's question there. I did want to mention I am a lousy creator because I struggle finding all the buttons. But Jennifer, one of the things I found is if you post from your phone the first time, it's almost easier because it's kind of idiot proof. There's fewer things to pick from. And there's also an edit button. I have posted and then gone, oh my God, I didn't want it to look like that. And you can
Good call.
edit.
Definitely.
That sounds good. That's good advice. What
That
about,
is good.
like, videos though? Like, is that the same thing? Does it have to be YouTube or?
No, you can upload a direct file if you have it. Like, I think that's how my like my TikToks usually get on there, is because it's saved to my phone and then it grabs from my phone and puts it on there. It's not a link to then go to TikTok and see it. Or YouTube. The YouTube ones I think will play right in LinkedIn. So, and then going to your post and activity. I'll do this with other people too. If I want to see just what they've posted, not what they've liked and shared, you go to posts. And then, like, I have a lot of people, they're like, where did you post that thing on the elbow? And then I go, oh, it's here. So this was LinkedIn changes the link for you, but this was a YouTube link. And so I believe it plays right in. Yeah, so it plays right in there. Stoop. So that's how a link will go in, and then, or you can just do the direct file in. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah. And then I have another question. Silly.
Yeah, please. That's why we're here.
So as a first-time LinkedIn poster, do you want all people to like your post? And what if they don't? And so you just keep posting and seeing what sticks?
Like, as far as building on what you're going to post next, or?
well, let's say you have a network, but you're just posting stuff that, you think is interesting. Is the goal to get as many likes as possible? Is it like?
I don't think so. I use the likes or something or the views as just a gauge, I guess. So I can have this video, I can see the views on it, right? And that helps me try to figure out, which ones are a little more popular. So I guess it would help me with what video to make next or something like that. But as far as, goals, it's really, if that one person that wants to hire you and pay you twice as much, sees it and likes it, then that's all you needed was the one like, right? So,
True. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have posted occasionally to my groups, but it looked like I could only post to one group at a time. Is that correct, or is there a way to select more?
No, I think you can only do within your main feed or the groups at a time. Like I can't post here and then also put it in the Colorado ASSP group, or if it's an oil and gas tag. I think you can tag groups though. I think you can tag groups, right? So there's some OSHA, yeah. Those are people. Isn't there OSHA group or something that I'm in or whatever, right? I think they're down a showcase page, blah, blah, blah. I think you can maybe tag the groups. And that's a way to, it doesn't really post it in that feed of the group though. It just gets the group monitor person to come and look at your stuff. So no, I think it's just one.
Okay.
Now you have me curious. If I find out differently, I'll let you know. But I think it's only that one. Yeah. And then some groups are different in the settings that they cannot allow you to post in the group. And don't be salesy posting in groups. That's the other one. It's like, hey, here's some educational content. Like I'll stick stuff. Hopefully, do you all know about the Facebook safety consultants group? I know, Pat, you're not a social media guy, so don't worry about it. But on Facebook, and I posted this meeting in the safety consultants group. So that's a good group that has lots of information that, again, lots of people, and the Women in Safety Facebook group is hugely popular and very active. So they're working on getting a little more of LinkedIn groups active.
We also have an oil and gas and mining specialty.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
Or on LinkedIn?
I know we have it in LinkedIn. I think he was putting it on Facebook. And as I said, my wife is good at this. My friends like you are really good at this. And so I just have people who are good and tell me about these things. Look at that. It's a way to get more, like you said, to get more faces, to get a little bit of their time. And I think you told me that give, ask thing in the past. And we try to just put a lot of information out there and very rarely ask for a, join up, except for this time of year where I'm looking for people to run for office. And if anybody here wants to run for office at the ASSP Colorado, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to put you on the ballot.
I love it. I love it. That was brilliant, Pat. Exactly how you do things, right? And see here, if you can see, I have the oil and gas mining mineral resources practice specialty group. There's no photo on it. There's no cover thing to make me be like, is this really a group? And then I'm like, okay, so some people are posting in here and I see it. So that's good. But then is it Jeff who's running this or whoever not? Look at you all active in there. Whoever's running it, they should add a photo, in my opinion, humbly.
Yeah, Jeffy's the assistant administrator, but the actual administrator has less interest than he had in the past.
No, that happens. So yeah, and I mean, with my own stuff, right? It's you get to where it's hard to do a lot of, and that's where lists help me a lot. The other thing on my phone that helps me a lot, and I know I'm an Apple person, but the Notes app, oh, let's see, that little Notes app is awesome. I have a list of quotes that I want to post, video ideas. I have all those things, and I'll stick them in my phone when I'm not able to just do the post at that moment, because I'm notorious for forgetting the topic. So I'll be like, what did I want to post about again? And all those certain things. So keep a list, because then when you're trying to just document what you're doing or share something, then on a busy day, you just throw that over and get it posted. Let's see. Okay. Yep. We're at an hour, folks. Again, I'm happy to answer some questions here and there. We are trying to round up this consultant group a little more organized. So I've had a couple people try to get with this again. We're all just so different on our schedules that it's hard to combine in a certain way. So I can't wait to get back in person and actually have the wine, because it's milk. Yeah, okay, it's there. And then go from there.
It's Bailey's, isn't it?
Gosh, that would be good with a cookie right now, but
I saw tequila cream, like a Bailey's cream.
It's
and
the
I
best
thought
thing.
of you.
1921. It's a pink bottle. Anyway, we shouldn't.
I just thought of you.
It's amazing. It's so good. Go, yes, have it. I highly recommend. Yay. Okay, folks. Well, I will. Dun, dun, dun. Excellent, Linda. Thanks for saying so. Just jump off of this meeting and like write a bunch of stuff down. If you can't do it and post it right now, at least just get it out of your head, write it all down, do your to-do list. Like I need to put my profile picture on, or my cover picture, or anything like that. I've got a bunch of other resources that if you want to use them, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to stop sharing that. Say adios. I love you. And oh, well, see my new Christmas gift. It's a little clip-on light thing that makes me look fabulous on my computer. I highly recommend it. It's like $15. So just so you know, you can have great lighting. Random. I love those. All right, bye. Okay.